Good day, good afternoon, good evening, good wherever it is that you are and whatever it is that you're doing. Hopefully, it's good. And welcome to the Global Warming Show. I'm your host, Lachlan Arts, and we have a very, very special show today. Of course, I'm biased. I think all of our shows are special, but there are those that are particularly special. And today, I think you'll find that we have one of those. And we have wonderful guest who's with us on the show today, Mr. Frank E. Brady.
Welcome.
And welcome. Thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you.
Oh man, laughing. Thank you for having me.
Well, so listen, I in terms of your introduction, so I know that, for example, you're the founder of FEB Communications, right?
Yes, sir.
And you're the co-founder of Driven to Inspire.
Yes, sir.
And then and I love this one because this is the first time I've ever seen anyone with this title, is that you're the dream director of,
Yeah.
of the Future Project. I love that. I love that. So, so look, you've got, an amazing resume and all kinds of work that you do, and amazing and just so inspiring, and really just thank you for all your work. But
Thank you.
I wanted to ask you just kind of right up front, just to let us know whatever it is you want to let us know about you and your work, but also if there's kind of a central theme that runs through all of it, Frank, kind of like, what you're here for, like what you're on the planet for, what you're out to accomplish. And you've got many, many different expressions, obviously, right? But who are you?
Oh man. Hey man, I'm a man that has experienced a lot of things in his life. And really at the core of it, man, I really believe that I'm on this earth to inspire people, to give people
Mm,
hope,
mm,
um, to give people faith. You know what I'm saying?
yes,
Um,
yes,
to help people get through rough times and difficult situations, man. And I do that through. I kind of look at it like I got this one tree that has mad different branches.
yes,
And however that hope is expressed, the different you heard the different businesses I've run. FEB Communications does educational presentations in the K through 12 section. Talking about
yes,
social emotional learning, emotional intelligence. You heard
yes,
Driven to Inspire, which is a training and development company that works with corporations and nonprofits on personal
yes,
development.
yes.
I'm also, a poet as well. Um,
Mm,
all of those things stem from really just trying to give people hope, um,
yes,
and help people get through rough times. And just do it. That's how I express myself. That's how I express my faith. That's how I express just like I believe we all put here to help people make the world a better
mm,
place. Everybody has
yes.
a unique gift inside of them, and when we're all contributing our gifts and who we are, I think that's how we help to heal this world. You know,
Mm,
nobody's gift
wow.
is better than anybody else's gift. Um,
Yes.
everybody has a different purpose. You know what I'm saying? And we
Yes.
all got to express it.
Just really thank you for your work. Just thank you for your work. One of the things I wanted to really focus on today, because I was watching, some of your interviews, and you talk about changing the narrative. Now, I'm not a big fan of that because it's become a real buzzword now, and everybody's changing the narrative, and it's like, oh my God, which is basically slapping a different word on something on a same situation and thinking it's like, no, that's not changing the narrative, right?
Yeah.
And because one of the things that we deal with in 2030 or bust is, yeah, there's the situation of the climate crisis, the climate emergency, global warming, whatever you want to call it. Like there's the actual melting of the glacier. There is the actual raising of the temperature. But what we're focused on is human beings' relationship to it. That it does live in a conversation for us. And much of the conversation that it lives in that we're out to alter is a conversation called, I don't make much difference.
Right.
Where the power is at the UN. Where the power is with the government. Where the power is with a diplomat or a billionaire or a scientist like that. And so people walk around with this kind of orientation to their daily choices that it doesn't really make any difference. And so they're kind of left in this, I'll recycle and hope. And
Mm.
so we kind of have this process where we take people through the kind of the different myths that they live inside of that comprise their reality, because when you check it out against reality, it just doesn't, it's not true. It isn't true. That with enough of us taking individual actions, it really does make a huge impact. So, anything you can say in the matter of that, in terms of the power of language. One of our favorite quotes from a philosopher, also probably maybe even a poet, right? But says that a talent for speaking differently rather than arguing well is the chief instrument of cultural change.
Wow.
Right. That was Richard Rorty, and so kind of we really deal with the language that we live in, that really shapes how we think and act toward each other and the earth, and so anything you can share in that matter, boy, would just be wonderful for us to hear.
Well, laughing, man. First and foremost, man, thanks for the work that you're doing. I think it's necessary. Observing the climate, man, you'd have to be blind. What's happening.
Yeah.
See what's happening and observe what's happening in our climate, man. Like, we look at what happened in Texas. Snow in Texas? Like, who would have thought 100 years there'd be snow in Texas?
Yes.
Right? And
yes.
That was a crisis. And that's a key indication of climate change.
Yes.
Right? We have to be conscious of the fact that when we were on lockdown, we started to see like a dip in emissions.
Yes.
We have to be conscious of the fact that when we were on lockdown, animals started coming back to cities and migration patterns. But we also have to be careful to realize, I remember there was a day, my friend, he's a dope dude, man. He had this Facebook Live, and he was talking about how in one day, I think there was rain, snow, and sun or something like that. So, like, what in the world? Look at all of the disasters, the tsunamis. Like, there's if you've been watching, for people that have been actually watching, there's been unprecedented like shifts in the weather over the last like 2 years. Like, unprecedented things that have not happened.
Yes.
And even the way that our climate is going in terms of the winter transition into something, like, it's just been off. You know?
Yes.
And I think because of that, we have to be really, and the problem is this, man, this is the problem. It's not a problem in people's lives until it's a crisis in their lives.
Exactly.
And that's the problem. And we don't want to get to crisis mode, because then you have to react rather than respond. And what you're trying to do is get people to start to respond to what's happening around you. Like, you can do your part. This is how, right? Like, this is why we need to have emissions. This is why, like, electric cars are probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Right? Like, the ozone layer's deterioration is real, and that's having an effect on the weather.
Yes.
Atmosphere.
Yes.
And we like, that's nothing to play with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's nothing to actually play with. Like,
the
problem is, here's the best example I could say. Hey, there's this blade coming towards, and I see it swinging, but it hasn't cut me yet, right?
Yes.
Now I can walk around it, avoid it, boom, boom, boom.
Yes.
In my direct vicinity, that's the only time I'm going to make it an issue.
Yes.
It's not
in
my everyday life. COVID-19 wasn't an issue to people until it started interrupting their everyday life.
That's right. I
remember hearing about this, like, in its inception, and I'm like, oh, let me get my mask and all of that.
Yes.
And people were downplaying it until it started interrupting their everyday lives. So
that's right.
People aren't taking things serious until it hits them. And
then
they're taking it serious.
Yes.
I think that's a problem, man, because when you just, like, look at I just look at the migration patterns. I look at the fact that, like, is it a coincidence we're having these bugs, these killer wasps or something like that?
Yes.
Like, and then I was watching the news and just seeing all these unprecedented things. Like, it's out there. It's just, people are taking it, like, serious because it's not interrupting their normal lives. And I think that's when people take it serious, man. And it's prevention is better than reaction, man. Like, that's
absolutely.
We talk about it in crisis management all the time. You prepare for the crisis and you respond to the crisis before it happens.
Yes.
The worst being is dealing with the crisis as it's happening.
That's right.
Management, the 101, like risk management. And
Yes.
2030 or bust is very important because 2030 is a very significant year, right?
Totally.
That's a very significant year.
You know,
That's like,
this is our window. You know,
yeah,
we're however it happened, we got to be alive at this unbelievable juncture for humanity, because this is the window. We're going to either get our crap together
yeah,
in this 10 years, or that window's not going to reopen. And like you said, you know, once the sea level rises 6 feet and starts to, you know, submerge
yeah.
much of New York City, you're not going to be able to do anything about it. And I, you know, I love the part you brought up, you know, because it really, you can even see with COVID, right? And people, even when it's people around them are dying and they're still, well, I don't think it's that bad. And it's like, oh my gosh, like how bad does it, it's amazing how bad it has to get. And still there's like, I don't think so, right?
Exactly.
And so the whole thing, I love what you said about until it hits me, because one of the you know, and who knows if we'll be successful or not, right? Chances are slim, but if I could somehow stop relating to myself as just this kind of skin bag here, right? And that maybe myself is more kind of a humanity myself, then it's already hitting me if I don't relate to, you know, kind of, I'm just this guy that lives where I live in Brooklyn, and you know, it's not, you know, it's really happening over there, because I go to these, you know, climate conferences, right? And
Right.
and I get to meet with people who are from the, you know, islands, Fiji islands, you know, in the Pacific, and and they say things that they say, look, you people go back to your offices. We go back to the people that we live with. They don't have anywhere to live. They don't have anywhere to grow their food. It's already underwater. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Wow.
Something's coming, or we got to prevent stuff. It's here.
Wow. So for some, and you know what? And not because we're isolated, we have this bubble in the United States
We do.
because of our infrastructure, because of our
Yes.
investment, right?
Yes.
When you visit to other parts of the world, you know what I'm saying? So like
I absolutely.
when tragedies happen, when storm, and I've been through a hurricane. Like
Mm,
I wrote a chapter on it. I wrote about it in the book. I've been through a hurricane. I've been through Hurricane Irma firsthand.
wow.
Yeah, like firsthand.
Wow.
With a grandfather, aging grandfather in the hospital, and all of that. I
Oh
mean,
my gosh.
whole story. But I went to the Dominican Republic in 2016, I think, and I
Mm,
said, geez, like I looked at the homes, man. I looked at the fact that they had huts, they had shant roofs, and I'm like,
wow.
what the heck happens if a storm hits them?
Yeah.
So the things that we survive can destroy other countries because they don't have
Totally.
the infrastructure, they don't have the setup.
I mean,
So
look what happened in Puerto Rico.
yeah, exactly. Look at Puerto Rico. Like and I remember because Hurricane Irma destroyed Puerto Rico and Barbuda before it hit South Florida.
Mm,
Right now, the weather is directly affected by the ozone, and
totally.
that's the thing that people aren't. I don't think people are. They're not taking it serious. And the thing is, Laughlin, it's not serious until it's trendy too, right?
Yes.
So you know
Yes.
when celebrities get on board, when influencers get on board,
Yes. Yes.
voices, that's when they get
Yes.
trendy. And
Yes. Yes.
and that's the unfortunate thing. So for
It
example,
is.
when I say change the narrative, I look at it like getting the voices in there, right? Different voices and
Yes.
make this is a priority. Like, come on,
Yes. Yes.
you
Yes.
don't
Yes.
want to wait until because if for things to get bad in the U.S., a lot has to happen, right?
Yes.
A lot.
A
Other
lot.
parts of the world, they're already seeing it.
Yes.
So that means by the time things get bad in the U.S., the stuff is just
Oh yeah.
you know
It has hit the fan.
it has hit the fan,
Yeah.
and it's important, man. Like it's important. I can't even underscore the importance of it, man. It's
Yeah.
the reason why I recycle. It's the reason
Yep.
why I'm very, very, very like aware of the emissions piece, right?
Yep.
Um, you look at, I even look at this. This is how funny these things happen, man. We look at pollution and how our trash goes out into the sea.
Yes.
When COVID hit and there's this uptick in like wipes and like Lysol wipes and what did that do to the ocean and everything like that?
Absolutely. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what we do. You know what I'm saying is important, man. And
Yeah.
I just wish that it was more of an important thing because prevention is real, but people are not in the prevention mindset.
Yes.
the lifestyle. Here's the thing: you don't change until you're forced to change.
Yeah.
Stuff, right? Like New York City
Yeah.
subways could have been cleaner.
Yes.
Right. But because
Yes.
COVID came around, now they're clean.
Yeah, totally. Now, do you have the 2030 or bust app? Speaking of trendy,
I haven't gotten it yet. I checked it out.
All right. Okay, good. So anyway, so one of the things that kind of when we got our thing together, right, is that we wanted to have this be fun, easy, trendy, gamified, something that was attractive to people. So, for example, we had some students from Parsons Design School here in New York that took on a marketing project for us, and they came up with this campaign called "Don't Let the Planet Get Hotter Than You." Right. And so they get the kids in and teenagers and things like that. So we are definitely of the mindset that we want to go to where the people already are. If they're on TikTok, great, then we want to go to TikTok. If they're watching the Kardashians, we're not out to judge it or anything like that. Great, let's get to the Kardashians. We want to go to where people are. So it isn't this, how do we get everybody to be green? How do we get everybody to watch a documentary? Because most people aren't going to do that. So that's why when we came up with the app, we wanted it to be so, you go into the app and you pick your action that you're going to take that day. And then it gives you your daily carbon budget and how you're doing on your budget. And then everybody else that's on the app, it kind of aggregates everybody's budget. So you can see what's the global impact of my daily action and can I see it? Right. And then we really want to get the word out that we got 10 years. And it's a big project, but if we can get 500 million people, Frank, 500 million people to alter their behavior just slightly, don't have to go completely vegan, but maybe cut out meat every once in a while. Take that your bike instead of the car. Don't take that flight today and do a Zoom meeting instead. Just things like that anybody can do. And then there's the high end stuff. Like if you want to buy a Tesla, put solar panels, that's fine too. But most people don't have those resources. So we want to stick to what anybody can do. And, that we can actually win the game, but the game is on. We are in the home stretch.
You're right. And I think that's important, man. It makes me wonder what's the government's doing right now.
Yeah.
On climate change, right? Like,
yeah.
You talked about airplanes not flying. I wonder if there's any studies I've seen, like because of COVID and the decrease in air travel, what effect has that had on the ecosystem, right?
Yeah, we've had about a 13% emissions reduction as a function of COVID, right? Wow. But the problem, not a problem, but most people are waiting until it's done so that they can go back to where they were, right? So, and look, and the government's doing great things and the UN's doing, so we don't take away from any of that, but what they're doing isn't sufficient. And a lot of kind of the the spin that the government and the UN puts on it is, hey, but we know we're not doing enough, but we're going to do our best. Well, I just think that's not a great plan, and because the climate crisis is happening in reality, so it's going to be real actions that need to be taken in the real amount of time that we have to produce the real result, or we're going to get the real consequences. All right. Well, Frank, thank you so much for being on the show today, and thank you everybody for watching. This is Lachlan Arts and the Global Warming Show, and that's it.